Remember, remember, the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Howdy folks, Skitz Jones here once again. No ukulele of doom today, just doing a little video blog along with my good buddy Cash here. Say hi, Cash. He's a needy little bastard, aren't you? Anywho, let's see what's up today. Yes, I know. Hi. Yeah, you want attention. Just doing like I said, just doing a video blog, no music. I actually, I can't play the ukulele for a little while. I had my first gig with the Ukulele of Doom over the weekend, and because I was so desperately nervous about playing the ukulele in front of people for the first time, I overdid it, and I actually got a little bit of a stress fracture in my forearm and some tendonitis, so I have to refrain from attacking the Ukulele of Doom with my usual zeal. Which means perhaps I need to practice more at actually being good at playing the ukulele as opposed to just attacking it feverishly and violently. But the gig went very well, and I was very happy to get to play at the Gates of Hell party. Many thanks to Zach Mohawk and Pretty Polly and everyone else who was at the party. Them specifically, happy birthday to the both of them. Them for hosting, Beth for manning the door. I have to give a shout out to the bands that played. Bird City, who played right before I went on. All the DJs were awesome, and all the folks that were there that I got to chat with. Some of the folks that I've met during my time here in Phoenix. Some of the folks from Suicide Girls. Yes, Liz, I'm still pulling glitter out of my beard and finding it in my clothes. So thanks for that. Let's see. Got dragged out on the dance floor, which, as a sober white guy, was, I'm sure, just horrifying for everyone who had to witness it. But it happened and was fairly entertaining. So once again, that was an awesome time. And getting to meet that whole crowd is one of the fonder memories that I will have of my time here in Arizona. As it draws to a close, I am heading back to Illinois in the very, very near future, in the next couple weeks. I will be attending school with the goal in mind of becoming a counselor for veterans and people with addictions. So that is the plan of action. Being a motorcycle mechanic has not panned out. As it turns out, I have very, very poor equilibrium, bad balance, and so I couldn't test ride a motorcycle if I wanted to. And without being to test ride, being a motorcycle mechanic would be kind of a difficult task. So that chapter is closing, and I am returning home. Let's see what else. Yesterday, I went and saw Saul Williams for the second time since I've been out here, which is amazing that I got to see him not once this year but twice. Back at the beginning of the year, he came through town doing the music thing. This time it was a poetry spoken word performance, and amazing the way that some people can dominate a stage with nothing but their voice and a microphone, but he killed it. Very cool to hear the poetry uh, versions of some of the songs that I was familiar with. Some of the poetry I was familiar with as well, having read his books. But it's interesting to see some of the poems over time have become songs, and so that was very cool. Plus, he did something that I always find really fascinating. He did a little question and answer session, since it was kind of a small, intimate crowd thing. Um, and one of the more awesome parts of the question and answer was it spawned from someone asking, as an artist, he uses, I'm just going to say it, he uses the word nigger, or nigga, Nigga, as opposed to Nigger. As a white guy, yes, I'm somewhat uncomfortable saying the word. Um, but he was asked about his use in it, his use of the word in his poetry, and his writing, and how he felt about the fact that some artists are now saying the word should be banned outright while others continue to embrace it. And that prompted a long, interesting discussion. Um, Referring to points such as the Yoko Ono, John Lennon, woman is the nigger of the world, and how it's not necessarily. There's cats in the house also, so the dog and cats, they're attacking each other at the moment. No worries, no animals are being harmed in the making of this video blog. But talked a bit about how the word has been used, how the word is used, what it means, and the fact that we're kind of we're reaching a point in culture, in society, where it's not necessarily one race per se downtrodden, but we're all kind of in it together. That the forces of wealth and greed and power and domination don't see like things like race. We're all kind of stuck in the same fight now. And then from there segued into a little bit of the history of hip hop, and how it's again not necessarily a race thing. One of the first people to put break beats in a recording was Rick Rubin, and the backing vocalists on the track were the Beastie Boys. So I mean, you had Jewish white boys on one of the earliest rap records, and the first recording to use break beats as opposed to just like a jazz bass line. And so it's interesting, to see how things become more segregated, but they didn't necessarily start that way in some cases. So that was the whole conversation, and I'm sure I'm not. I know. Hey, calm down. He wants to sing for you. Look over here. I'm sure I'm not really saying it all as eloquently as he had, but it was very informative and interesting to listen to. And of course the poetry was amazing. And I also have to give a shout out to all the opening poets, including HB, who I had seen open for Saul Williams when he did the music thing, and so seeing him again just reconfirmed for me that that dude just kills it on stage. I know. Do you want to go play with your thing, whatever this is? You want the thing? I'm stupid. Downsides of being right-handed and having an injured right hand. I should pay more attention. But yeah, so what else? Other stuff to report. The VA continues to do their thing, which is not doing their thing. I don't know. I'm so tired of dealing with the VA. I'm just so tired of it. Um, and tomorrow, voting, and I know, some of you out there vote Republican, and some of you vote Democrat, and some of you somehow are still undecided in this election. Though I really don't know how anyone at this point could even think of calling themselves undecided. I am not pro-Obama. However, I could never vote for a party, especially as a veteran, that votes so stridently against veterans benefits, veterans job programs, constantly tries to cut the funding for veterans programs, looks at veterans as just people looking for a handout, uh, whereas we're by and large just looking for what we were promised when we signed that dotted line in the first place. We gave what was expected and more. And the Republican Party has just an undeniable recent history of being vehemently against veterans. They're for the military, make no question about it. They're very much for the military. That's why Romney says he wants to, bloat the budget double what Obama and his administration pay in the military. And the thing is, the military makes money for other interests. The people who build battleships and whatnot, that those are contracts. Those are people making money, and the people making that money are not the military. So I mean, exploding the defense budget doesn't benefit. We outspend the next 15 countries in defense spending combined. It's ridiculous the amount that we spend, and we're no safer than we were than we would be otherwise. The one attack that we can point to and say this happened to us was accomplished with little more than box cutters on airplanes, and no amount of battleships, no amount of new experimental aircraft would have stopped that. And again, another reason I'm not very pro Obama is his administration's policy of almost wanton drone strikes, which surely does not endear us to a lot of the countries which we're supposedly aiding in spreading democracy. As we bomb whole villages and then bomb them a second time when people come to the scene to clean up the first bombing, which is anti-Geneva Conventions. We do that. We're no longer above that. We are those people, and that's something that if anyone were to complain about an Obama policy like that, I would understand. But no one bats an eye when we spend billions and billions of dollars bombing the shit out of people. Our tax money can go to that all day, every day, and then pay for the medical care to then take care of these people and rebuild their infrastructure, without batting an eyelash. But you mention, your tax money might go to provide someone health care in this country, and people lose their shit. And I just think our priorities are so backward in that regard. And that's not just one party. That's all parties. You know, but you know, the healthcare thing being the big complaint. He wants us to be socialist. That's the big complaint, and that's of all the things to complain about. That is so not the one. Uh, you know, looking out for your fellow human beings' well-being when you already pay out the ass to kill people. You know, it just seems like a skewed priority. But anyway, enough about, you know, a lot of you have already voted. Early voting's been happening. You're all tired about hearing about the election. I'm tired about hearing about the election. But you all know it's happening. And, you know, I doubt anything I'm going to say at this point will change your mind as to who you're going to vote for. Your mind was likely made up before you even knew who the candidates were. Uh, you know, the nature of politics in this country is a team sport, and you know, you just want your team to win, whether it's Democrat or Republican. You know, whether you live in a red state or a blue state, and that's something that I've been learning very, very much living in currently a red state. You know, coming from Chicago and being here in Arizona and going to a lot of shows with more liberal artists. Um, you know, when I saw Off, Keith Morris from Black Flag and Circle Jerks, his new band, you know, he gave his little spiels in between songs, and some of them were very liberally minded. You know, again talking about the fact that we borrow all this money, including from our own citizens, to then bomb other countries. Um, and people tuned out and people heckled, and then saw Henry Rollins the next day, and he, you know, if you know anything about Henry Rollins, you know his opinions on things, and it was a spoken word show. It was just him talking for 2.5 hours, and again hearing people, you know, grumble in the background as he voiced his opinions. You know what you're getting when you pay to hear him talk for 2.5 hours. You're getting 2.5 hours of him talking. Um, and then the next day, OTEP, um, and a lot of people kind of had this, you know, just shut up and play your music attitude, and I find that to be very dismissive, because if anyone pays attention to the lyrics, you know, she's stridently equal rights, uh, you know, women's rights, gay rights, uh, you know, anti. Uh, uh, you know, the religious stranglehold uh, that happens in this country, and so it's been strangely eye opening to me to see people kind of, you know, go spend the money to go see these shows, and then get openly bent out of shape hearing their opinions. I mean, I myself wouldn't spend the money to go see. Uh, um, oh hell, the Motor City Madman, whose name escapes me. uh, Crap, how can I not think of his name? The hunting guy. Anyway, it'll come to me probably right after I stop recording. Um, but you know, I wouldn't pay to go see him in concert, because I know he'll say some outlandish, um, stridently xenophobic shit that I just wouldn't want to hear. So why would I spend my money to hear it? Same deal with Hank Jr. Not Hank 3. I don't know much about Hank 3's personal politics. I haven't heard much one way or the other about that kind of stuff. Um, you know, I wouldn't spend money to go hear Megadeth anymore, having heard some of Dave Mustaine's ridiculous rants. You know, and so why would I, you know, spend money to subject myself to that? You know, and I certainly, if I did spend the money to go see a show, you know, maybe I'd tune out a little bit, but hearing the open heckling is just kind of weird. You know, I mean, certainly as an artist, every one of these people They're entitled to their opinions, and that's part of the great discussion in this country. But a lot of them are just so unbelievably, undeniably ignorant and again xenophobic uh, and contradictory. The socialist, Muslim, communist, uh, Christian, uh, all of these things. A lot of them are contradictory. People got bent out of shape. That Obama's a Christian, but the church he goes to, his reverend is too outspoken. Well, no, correction. He's not a Christian. He's a Muslim, and he wasn't born in this country. He's a secret Muslim, but we know the secret. He's a socialist, but he's a communist. You can't be all of these things, and so it's just more pointing at he looks like the other. And that's what a lot of it comes down to. And it bothers me that that is the level of discussion we're having. Discuss policies, discuss things you don't like about what has actually happened, stuff that he and his administration have actually put on the table and done. Debate that until the cows come home. But if I see one more person, try and convince me that he's a secret Muslim terrorist who's trying to, produce the downfall of this country, I'm going to lose my shit. Um, that's just, like I said, I don't like a lot of his foreign policy. I don't like some of his, policy here at home. But I can point to the things I don't like and describe them and state why I don't like them and what should be done instead. I'm not just throwing out buzzwords. Anyway, I said I was going to stop talking about politics, so I'm going to stop talking about politics. Yeah. Other than that, what else do I have to say? It's the dog chasing the cat. You just caught maybe the tail end of that. Shit, I've been talking for 20 minutes. I guess I really don't have that much more to say. I want to leave on a happier note than my political ramblings, though. Leaving Arizona, kind of bummed, kind of not. It's time for me to go home. I have a lot of friends there whose lives I've been missing out on. Marriages and children being born and children about to be born, and things of that nature. And then the school thing, going to get that certification to be a counselor and hopefully help veterans the way that some people have been able to help me, but also to fill the gap that I've seen that hasn't been filled or I haven't found. I want to do something to give back more. So I'm hoping as I go home I will be able to find my niche doing that. Shout outs to all the people out here who have been very cool to me, the entire staff at Gilligan's. I've made some decent friends there who I will miss. Some awesome, amazing artists out here. Big Chris, Boomer from Timeless Art, Tats by Boomer, has done some wicked stuff for me. Czar has done some excellent tattoos for me. So I got to give shout outs to all them folks. Again, the folks from Suicide Girls, Arizona, who I was fortunate enough to be invited to meet and hang out with a few of them on a few occasions. So that was very cool. So it hasn't been all bad out here. Like I said, I've met some cool people and learned a lot. So I am going to miss those people. And so my gratitude goes out to them. And other than that, everyone back in Illinois, I've been missing you. I know. I'm almost done. And I will be home soon. And we'll see what the next step is. I know I'm long-winded. I understand. I'll stop. Okay. All right. That's my cue to say goodbye. So look, look, look over here. Look at the people. You want to say goodbye? He says goodbye.